Hey, what's up, folks? This is Seiraph, the philosophy guy, and welcome to yet another session of the Poets Forum. But unfortunately, I wish I could say something else, considering the fact that I feel we have exhausted the Poets Forum, and it's only in our best interest to see to it that we kind of, grow the show to something of serious importance, considering the fact that it's come a long way as a talk show. And with that said, earlier this day in the morning, I decided to put up a post on Facebook because my co-host and a friend of mine who was supposed to come on the show were unable to pop up because of other serious engagements they had to engage in. So I put up a post and said, whoever would like to come on the show to have a philosophical conversation with Seiraph should just hit me up, and it was open to everybody. And Zach decided to jump on, and this is actually my first time meeting Zach in person. It's actually honest to say that he's just one of those random people I see on Facebook, and we are friends on Facebook. So he commented and said, look, I'm interested to come. So I DM'd him my line, and we linked up, and he's here. And I'm hoping that we will have some nice conversations together on 91.7 FM. So, man, how you doing? And nice to meet you, man.
I'm doing that, man. Nice to meet you, too.
How's life overall, and how was your day?
Life is really good right now. I think my day has been okay.
Yeah,
despite the rains and so ever.
So when you saw my Facebook post, though, did you think it was a serious proposition I put up, or you thought it was actually a joke or something?
Okay, somehow I thought it was a joke because it's a situation where you're just scrolling down on your Facebook and then you go like, this post, and then like, wants to go live with me. Let me try to see if the dude is fake or what.
Yeah, for real.
Although I had to take it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, since I'm also meeting you for the first time, can you tell us who Zach is, as well as me inclusively? Like, tell us who Zach is as a person, and why you took an interest to react to the post and come here today.
Oh yeah, okay. Zach is some simple guy to say, looking whatsoever. A lot of people describe me with a lot of things. I do a lot of things. I mean, let me say I'm a diversified thing to say.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of things. I think Zach right now, Zach is on a certain particular area. Whatever he does, or the section is what I'm actually working on. So if you wanted to, if I want to describe myself, I would say I'm a very deterministic person, a very humble guy, somewhat.
Yeah.
Not really, but a very cool guy to interact with, especially on talks. And then
And on your Facebook, because when you commented and then you said you were serious, I was like, okay, let me just go look up his Facebook. You on your bio.
Sure.
It said you're also a poet. So how true is that? You're a poet as well?
Exactly. I'm a poet, man. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your poetry about? Like, what are you an activist of sorts? Because I think I'm an activist as a poet.
Okay.
So, does your poetry also take the same form?
Actually, I like I told you, I'm into so many areas. So with my poetry, I have no specified area to say. I do a lot of poems. I do activist poems, love poems, I do a lot of stuff. So with my poetry, no wonder why people say like, okay, he's not into this, but I suit with what I want to do.
Yeah. So you don't have a fixed stance. You can pretty much write about anything you want to write about. So what have you written about so far, as a poet? What is some of the stuff that you've written on?
Okay, so I've written so many stuff. Lately, I think I was working on my EPs, a collection of 6 poems to say, and 3 songs.
Yeah.
So I titled it Infinite Intelligence, and then it had a lot of writings in it. I think I had almost 20 plus written poems down, and then I had to pick 6 to say. So I think my writings are based on what I want to do, what I want to achieve, what I want to put there.
Yeah.
So whatever I write is based, whatever poem I do, I written for the sake of, a specified area to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like I wrote a certain piece, boring book. I'm sure it's one of my newest piece to say. It's in the EP also. I'm sure you're gonna play it at some particular point. So it's boring book to say. Can I discuss a lot about it? Okay. Yeah. So that piece was inspired with myself to say. At some particular time, I was really a boring person, you understand?
Yeah.
And then here comes a certain character, a different gender. Then they sees you interesting, they see you're interesting to them. And out of that, I write a story. I write a poem out of that. So
the character that came and took an interest in you
exactly
was a female species.
Yeah, very true.
Obviously, because I thought that's the. I mean, I thought you're gonna say like some dude just randomly took an interest in you.
Yeah, I said no, not a dude. Yeah.
Okay, so when she took an interest in you, you were inspired to write the poem.
Exactly. When she took an interest, I thought, I was opened up to say, okay, this is really true. This is reality.
Yeah.
So what's reality about? You have to put an action towards it for it to work very well.
Yeah.
So I had to write, exactly. In fact, I wrote 6 pieces out of it and then had to pick one.
Yeah.
So I started sharing to people, like people who write also. I have friends who write, like Gabriel or something like that. So they do write also, like, okay, can I come up with this? Then they go like, no, this one won't work out, this one won't work out. And then at the end of the day, you pick which one is your best and then you put it out there.
All right, so I think we'll get to the poetry sometime later during the show.
Okay.
But because I had put up a post saying that who wants to have a philosophical conversation with Seiraph,
sure.
I think that's what we should let take precedence in tonight's discussion.
Yeah.
So to kind of like get this all started with, I would suppose the best place to start would be to ask a more personal question, like what's your stance religiously? Like, do you consider yourself a Christian or something, or you are a Muslim of sorts, or you are like an agnostic,
okay.
or you're somewhere in between?
Nah, actually, I'm a specified Christian. I'm just Christian, man.
Yeah.
So,
like, if I were to ask you just out of curiosity, like, why are you a Christian as opposed to being a Muslim?
Well, why am I a Christian and not being a Muslim? Okay. The thing is, I was born in a Christian world. I was born in a world where there's a lot of separations, and I don't know if it's fortunately to say I was born in a Christian home. Yeah. So meaning, whatever I was raised with were based on what I found. You get.
Yeah.
So let's say if I was born in a Muslim house, maybe somewhere in India or something like that, I think definitely I would be maybe a Buddhist or an Islam or something.
So
like
you're
that.
basically saying your religious stance is pretty much an accident of birth.
Yes, exactly.
You haven't really sat down to think about it if you really want to be a Christian or not. Because basically you're seeming to sound as though you're saying you didn't make a choice in this, you were just born.
Exactly. I didn't make any choice. But there is this an issue where even if you are born in a Christian home, in an Islam where what, it comes a time where you choose.
Yeah.
Where you decide on, okay, let me shift to this, let me change to this, despite you being raised in a Christian home.
So would you say your time has come for you to choose?
No. I'm still growing with the Christian stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But right now, like to a large degree, you'd say it's making sense.
It's very.
So like if you had to pick a few bits and a few things about it, what would you say makes it make sense? What about it makes so much sense to you that you want to stick around?
Well, Christianity it's a very big thing. There's a lot involved. I think so. It's interesting actually to say. So whatever you want to find in other areas, you find them in Christianity.
Yeah.
So whatever you find in Christianity is what makes it interesting, specifically when you want something towards it. Yeah.
So like just some. Out of interest. Okay. So you said Christianity, it encompasses a lot of things.
Exactly.
Things that, were you trying to say it encompasses a lot of things that you can find in other religions?
Yeah. Okay. I've never been in another organization, rather a religion or something like that. Yeah. But particularly to Christianity, I think I find everything compared to other religions. Yeah. I may not say... If I was Islam to say, I think I would boast more of Christianity because I am a Christian and I think there's a lot. I think whatever is in Christianity is what, covers me.
Yeah, okay. All right, so another question,
Okay.
another interesting question.
All right.
So let's not dive into other religions or go so far as to say, to try to encompass religious organizations like Islam and other stuff. Let's just stick to Christianity. In Christianity alone, there are different organizations,
Sure.
bodies of Christianity. We have like Seventh Day, we have Baptists, we have other religious groupings.
Yeah, the Anglican,
So, like,
Roman Catholic.
So you specifically, like, what type of Christian are you?
Okay. I think those sections are just a group of people to say.
No,
place
but
where you meet.
personally, are you a Pentecostal, a Catholic, or what?
Yeah, so I'm in this section. I'm an Anglican, actually.
Or you're an Anglican?
Yeah, Anglican church. So I go.
Have you ever come across other certain types of Christians that say your denomination within Christianity is the wrong one?
Exactly, I have a lot, especially with these other sections. You see.
So are you also of the idea that your section in Christianity is the right one?
Actually, okay, it depends on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Christianity is a big thing. So a lot of sections in it, they have a different way on how they operate today. So let's say if the Anglicans or the Roman Catholic or the Baptist or whatever they do, we're both Christians, right? And then not on a personal level, but in a group level to say. So whatever they believe in is what I'm not supposed to believe in. But we let's say it's like you go this way and then I go this way and then we'll meet at the end, right? But whatever in my way, I think I just have to abide in that. Yeah. So to what they may say, to say, okay, I know your section, your Catholic, you guys are wrong part of Christianity. Quite right, they may say that because it's what they believe in. Even within the Christians, there's so many different beliefs.
I've heard a lot of people use that illustration you use, where in as much as we're taking different routes in our Christianity, it's leading to the same place.
Exactly.
But the thing is, it's not as simple as that. Not only are you taking the different route, but these are different groups of Christians who are saying different types of things and all claiming that they have the absolute truth. Yeah. And there's no way all of them can be right. Okay. Chances are that all of them could be wrong. Sure. But it's not all of them that can be right. So how do you settle that issue now? Because you can't all be correct about this particular thing. One of you guys has to be right, or all of you are wrong. Yeah. So, like, what's your take on that? Like, how do you settle the fact that you have so much differences within within Christianity as a whole?
Okay.
You as an Anglican.
You as an Anglican, specifically, lecture.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what you believe in is what makes you to grow within the same Christianity world. So there's an issue of where to say, okay, at some particular point, me as an Anglican, the rules I actually abide with.
Yeah.
But when I apply them to other sections, maybe to the Catholic guys or to the Baptist, the Pentecostal thing guys, they won't accept that, right?
But those rules, aren't they supposed to be based on the Bible? And all of you people are using the Bible, right?
We do use the
unless
Bible, but we're not supposed to.
Unless you mean to tell me you're using a different book.
No, check, man. We do use a same book, actually.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how we're guided, how we're explained to the same book, it really matters.
So, like, it's the translation that's an issue.
Not really.
But the book is okay.
The book is quite okay.
But it's how
okay, some of the translation to say.
So it's the approach that all of you people take on the book that's actually wrong.
If you say so.
So, but the book in and of itself, it's okay. But you people that explain it differently are what are making it wrong.
Exactly.
So if that's the case, then would you say there's a certain group of people that are explaining it correctly?
Not really. The thing is, whatever you explain from that book is what exactly your section has to be adhered to. Understand? So there is no any other section.
Okay, let's pick a topic. Let's pick a specific topic that's showing that there's no way all of you could be correct. Let's pick, say for example, the nature of, say for example, Jesus.
Okay.
Other religious groupings will tell you, no, Jesus was just the Son of God. Other religious groupings within Christianity will tell you, no, he was more than the Son of God. He was actually God himself.
True.
And then when he came here to die for people's sins, he was actually God in the flesh. And then others would tell you, no, he wasn't really God in the flesh. He was just the Son of God.
Exactly.
God was in heaven. So now those are two people talking about two different things.
but yeah, they're Christians.
But then you can't both be correct. You know what I mean? So like, how do you say to that, you yourself, like how, because you're basically getting your guidance from the same book.
Chick, at some particular point, you may be all correct. There is no way you can say you are not. You can't be correct. You can't be correct in two places to say. No, actually, you may be correct depending with your translation. So whatever you believe in with Christians, whatever you see Jesus do as to you, I mean, is what makes you as a Christian. So if you think Jesus is your friend in Christianity way, so you have to believe in that, right?
But I think it's more than just believing Jesus is your friend.
No, it's about what you translate yourself.
How you translate it.
Exactly. So whatever aspect you may bring about Jesus, whatever figurative language you may bring about Jesus, it's all about yourself.
Yeah.
So,
but both of you. Okay, let's suppose. So okay, let's give this example.
Okay.
Let's say I am saying to get to town, you have to go this direction.
True.
And then you're saying to get to town, you have to go this direction.
Exactly.
We both can't be right. One of us has to be correct.
We can be right at some particular point.
We're talking about different things, and we're giving totally different directions.
What if I tell you going, the left direction, you pass through that side, and then you go this way, and then that's where you find yourself to town, and then you're just giving me a direct.
But of course,
direction.
That's not how it goes.
No,
I know you can say that. But
what if that's my way?
How it goes?
No. What if that's my way? I just know the left direction. I have no idea about the right. So you telling me about the right direction, it means it's correct. Actually, yeah, going.
Okay. Maybe I used the wrong example.
No, that's the correct example.
No. Let's say, let me use a more direct example. Let's say, there's two people, me and some other guy, who are telling another girl that we're telling her about you. Then I say, no, Zach is a white guy. Oh, Zachariah is a white guy, and then wait. Zachariah is a white guy and he has blonde hair.
Okay.
And then the other guy says, no, Zachariah is like some black guy and he's got a black head sock. He always wears a black head sock. And he's always wearing like shades.
Yeah.
Can we both be correct about that? Because we're saying things that run counter to each other.
There's an issue of when giving descriptions, actually you have to be specific on a specified character. But when giving directions, you may give in different ways, right?
Yeah, so we've buried the direction.
You can't
example.
Exactly.
We have buried.
No, I want to open up your check.
That example have buried.
There's no way somebody can go like Zachariah has blonde hair, and then somebody goes like he doesn't have blonde hair, right? And then they're all talking about one person.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense, right? So how Christians believe and how other Christians believe, it really matters on a point. If our goal is down, if our
but then your goal is even different.
No,
that's the point. Your goal, it's not as simple as having the same goal. You guys have a different goal. Of course, you're saying you're both worshiping the God of the Bible, but
we do have different ways.
You can't even agree on which God that is.
We do have different ways, but we all know the goal, right? We know where to focus. We know what to target. So. Like I may give you an example of the Pentecostal guys. Check. The Pentecostal guys will go in their ways in how they pray to God. Yeah. And then it may seem so funny to these guys, maybe the Watchtower to be specific.
Yeah, no, you could call them Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Watchtower
right?
is their magazine.
Okay, Watchtower. Okay, so, we're used with the Watchtower thing. Okay, Jehovah's Witness guys will go like, that's madness in the way the Pentecostal guys pray, right?
Yeah.
So, but whatever you achieve at the end will be the same. So being diversified in the same region doesn't. It really makes sense.
Okay,
in believing what you know.
Here's where my argument is.
Okay.
You're not going to achieve the same thing because these guys believe they're praying to a different God.
No, man. As long as you're a Christian,
and the other
you all believe in one God.
And the other Christian denominations that actually go, say for example, you being, you said Anglican, right?
Exactly.
They think you are in the wrong. They think like there's nothing you know that is true about the Bible. And if they don't get to you and teach you about that, then you are not going to be saved.
I know.
That's how serious it gets, because these people are of the idea that only their religious grouping is the right one. So if you're not in that religious grouping, there's no way you're going to make it to the end.
Exactly. Okay, there is this saying where it says, I don't know if you've come across where people saying, I think if Christianity were just placing in one church whatsoever, gathered together and then worshiping one God, just one church, it had been making sense. But that, because we all know that at the end of the day, we'll have a certain goal, a common goal to say. You understand? Yeah. But on that issue, I think it doesn't make sense. We need to have differences in understanding how Christianity works. Yeah. You know? So if I can't argue with you as a Christian in the way I should pray, let's say if you want to pray, you have to stand up and then pray. Me, when it's praying, I have to kneel down. So if there's an aspect of me collecting you to say, okay, this is actually the correct way, we all have to abide about that. Evangelism is about, educating what you really want people to follow. Yeah. So if I tell you, okay, if our section, let's say as Anglicans, for us to be in church, we need to be to know these sort of some common prayers together. Yeah. And then that allows us to that makes us feel more closer to God. You understand? Yeah. But to other sections, you're like, no, that's bullshit. Why should you be complaining about, playing about the same player together and then you feel closer to God? So there's an issue of you now educating people on how you believe in Christianity to say, okay, so we can go in this go. You understand?
Yeah, I get your point. Exactly. It's just that I felt like, there's no way you could reconcile your groups together. Like you guys just can never see eye to eye. And I think to a large degree, you all can't be correct. You're saying
the issue of you saying we can't be all correct, it's really wrong. The thing is, we can be correct.
Because I gave you a very direct example.
But you gave out again
I can even give you, okay, let me give you another example. So another example is... as Anglican, you believe the ultimate salvation for you or the reward for you as a Christian is going to heaven, right?
Exactly.
Yes, but there's people like Jehovah's Witnesses who are not of that idea. They believe they're going to inherit this earth and they need to be turned into a paradise. Only a select few will go to heaven. A select few for a specific purpose, which is to rule over those that are going to stay back here. So, and both of you are quoting the Bible, by the way. You're reading the Bible. So since you're saying two divergent views,
exactly,
you can't both be correct.
No.
One view has to stand and the other falls, because there's no way you can be correct at the same time.
If we can say if one view has to stand, it means we have to be one group. We have to worship God in a certain place.
If you're one group, then it means you've adopted the view of one group. Or say, for example, if you're going to be one group, then you're going to be one group based on the Anglican side.
Exactly.
So then you ditch the other side.
If the Anglicans can win the whole Christianity to say, we have to play in this way, and then the whole people say, okay, this is correct, you understand? So it means we just have to have one view, right, on that one. But
so you agree. So in a sense, you agree with me that you're both not correct. Or you're both not, you can't both be correct at the same time.
You can be both correct. You can be both correct, because at the end of the day, you achieve one goal. But how you behave as characters.
No, you're saying different things.
No, listen.
I've already given you an example showing you that you're saying different things. How can you both be correct about that? I've given you an example of going to heaven and staying on earth. Those are two different stuff. So who's going to be correct? Who would you suggest is correct? Or you as an Anglican, you're going to say, no, I'm correct because I'm an Anglican and this is what I was taught.
Yeah.
So for you, based on, if we're following your logic pattern, you said why you are here today is because you were born in this.
Exactly.
So chances are that your position as an Anglican could be that it's because you're an Anglican, that's why you think you're going to heaven.
Not really on that. That's just a section. Personally, I know I need to have personal attitudes, characters in my viewing towards Christianity.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say if I'm an Anglican, if I'm this, actually I'll go to heaven. No. There are people actually who believe in that quite alright, but it's actually wrong. Let me tell you the truth. It's actually wrong.
Yeah.
There's an issue where you say Christianity has to be based, on an assumption where yourself, you understand how it is to you, and not really a section with you. You understand?
Yeah, so but then if it's based off of an assumption, then it means I could just start assuming stuff.
Assumptions can change.
I could just start assuming stuff.
Even if you can assume.
I can't even prove. So if you say it's going to be based on something, then it's going to be really, it won't stand, you know what I mean?
Not really on an assumption, because you have to prove, right?
Yeah, it has to be based on something that you can prove.
So whatever you may bring up to them, people can assume, and then at the end of the day, they bring it to life.
Yeah.
They bring it to life, right?
Yeah.
So meaning, whatever theory we may come up with in giving Christians to say this and this and this, if we follow this, it means we are going to be saved. So it means we all have to follow. If I can conquer, you understand? It means we have to be saved.
So that theory now that you've just said, like you have to have a certain theory that you're supposed to follow.
You have to make people, believe. You have to prove to them, right?
Yeah.
You have to tell them that this is the way.
So you're using the Bible to do that. Now just imagine there's you and me right now.
Yeah.
You're saying the theory that you're supposed to follow for you to attain salvation is ABCD.
Exactly.
And then me, I'm also saying a different thing. I'm like, no, you don't have to follow that theory. It's not correct. You're supposed to follow ABCD. Yeah. So you're saying two different things, and we both can't be correct at the same time. Yeah. One of us, we can both be wrong. There's a possibility.
We can both be wrong, and we can both be correct.
No,
right?
but we can't be both correct. But we can both be wrong.
How? Just fire your point. How can you be both?
Okay, so correct? We can. It's possible for people for two people to say a wrong thing, but it's different. I could be saying town. If I'm to get to town, I'm supposed to go this direction, and you could say if I'm to get to town, I'm supposed to go this direction. Sure. So we're both saying different things. But they're both wrong, because if you want to go to town, you take the other direction. No. So we're both wrong. Well, we could both be wrong, but there's no way we can both be correct.
If you're telling someone if you're telling someone about how they should move about it, you have to give a descriptive. You have to bring in those points.
Okay, let's say
to understand. Okay, if I go this way, I'll find whatever I want to say.
Okay, let's say you're giving someone directions to go to town, and then you tell them to get on a bus going to Charleston.
Okay.
Obviously, they won't go to town. They'll go to Charleston.
No, why would you go to Charleston if I tell you the direction? Check, buses go this way. Actually,
no, they'll go to Charleston.
They may go to Charleston.
Yeah.
Okay. I may tell them to get on a bus going to Charleston, right? And then at the end of the day, when you reach at a certain particular time, you have to get on a bus which will take you to this other direction. At the end of the day,
but there's no that bus.
No, there is.
In this illustration,
okay.
There's no
what
that
if?
bus.
Oh, check. What if you get on a bus to Charleston, right? You're from Munza, right? You get on a bus to Charleston, and then you drop at Charleston Tank. That's it. You get on another bus which goes maybe to Mutendele, right? You switch. I give you that direction, right?
But now you're complicating
the example. Check.
I
just want you to.
The example is very simple and straightforward. You give someone directions going to Charleston, but they're not supposed to go to Charleston.
No, you have to bring in other points. You have to tell them to say, okay, when you reach at that particular time, give them another highlight. You understand? Give them another explanation. You have to do this and this and this. Christianity has to be based on instructions. You're not supposed to give them to say, okay, just get on the bus, go this way. For what? And
it is those instructions on which people disagree.
No. Yeah, quite right. It's true. But people have to understand that they have to believe in what the whole Christianity talks. What the Bible
but the thing is, they can't even agree on what to believe.
What the Christian book, the Bible says. On what the Christian book, people have different translation. Like I said.
Also, now it's a fact about translation.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Okay, it's a fact about translation. No, I'm not switching. No, I'm not switching. I'm trying to give you that. How you explain what you have to people is what really matters. So let me get back to the Charleston bus thing. You get on a Charleston bus, you drop at Charleston Tank, right? You get on a cup that take you to Mtendere. From Mtendere, then you get on a bus which goes to town. You understand? So, basically, I'm telling you to say, I'm giving you an instruction right there. So you have to follow the instruction. Yeah. So what the Bible tells us has to be amplified, has to be, of a view, it has to give you a social lens, at some particular point to say, okay, it's really making sense. What these preachers, priests, these men of God, the way they come out with what they, because I've seen these situation where somebody reads John 3 verse 16, They just read it out to you, and then they're done with you. Okay, church is done. Go to some other churches. They'll explain more about John 3:16. They'll give you more insight about that. Yeah. So the instruction you get from that one is what really matters to a personal level now. You understand? So it has to be you getting instruction and then following it up to what you want.
Okay, so before we're going to go for a short break, and Edgar is trying to find out if he could make a call. But unfortunately, my nigga, you cannot make a call.
Yeah.
You can comment on Facebook right here. Yeah, you can just put out your submission Yeah, but unfortunately, we can't take calls. Yeah. So we're gonna go for a short break, and then we'll be back with the conversation. Yeah, and so far I think this is a dope philosophical conversation. Yeah. And for a break, we're gonna play you a little track from my new EP. No, it sounds funny to play on music, but what the heck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, the conceptual her.
Genius. Where you at, baby boy?
The implication of a moment that defies time is imbued in conversation through casual lines with little effort in every word that's quite cool. You understand her, she understands you. When conversation came easy, I found home. She smiled at my defiance like it was just a norm. And I knew from the start, we spoke mind to heart. The inception of a beautiful thing that's beauty within.
You ready for this?
We should really have other people here, I think.
No, want you to save us from ourselves?
Yeah.
I already can tell I have a hostile witness here. Okay.
The complementary pattern of compatible minds is a headspace of a familiar kind, where you don't fight to be understood. On the conceptual her, all your thoughts are glued. Out of my deeper attestation, she was making songs, writing symphonies with broken pieces of my wrongs. I was certain for sure, she's my certainty. Even Hitchens would say, she is heavenly.
It may be a bad sign that was followed by you avoiding me for 6 months and not returning my emails.
No, but the thing I thought about also before we did this is that...
But it's unfortunate, I'm way ahead of myself, overthinking into things as per usual. To the conceptual her, this could be incidental. And look at me, losing my mind in blind chance. In starlight, I penned her and we danced. Some kind of weird mind game I am playing here. Got to be cautious, it might end in some cold tears. But to win some, you've got to lose some.
The friend who set us up had said to me that she didn't know, of course, whether there'd be a romantic connection, but that she knew that we would be great friends.
To be honest, I can tell you I am new to this. Making lines, creating some sentimental bliss. There is ice to be melted just to have a kiss. Much less groping booty in a casual manner. But I am daring, if only you just really wanna. Lead me on, I'll play along. It's for fun, it's for love, it's for life. So let's plan, it's now or never. We're wild and we're so young. Alright, welcome back to the show. And I am with Zach. We are just enjoying some philosophical conversation based off of the Bible. And Zach is extrapolating the fact that he feels is of the idea that him being a Christian is more than just an accident of birth. Yeah. So, man, in conclusion, though, how would you what would you suggest to settle your religious God was in between different groups?
Okay. Personally, I would have a personal, explanation to that. But being Christianity as it being a big thing, a very big thing, it has what people have to follow. So I think following what guides us together is what really matters to us. So, for example, the Bible, Christians believe in the Bible. So this organization, a lot of people now, Christians believe in the Bible.
But but it's the same Bible that you fight about.
Exactly. So you have to take it on a personal level at some particular point.
So you're basically saying, we should take it at a personal level.
Exactly.
And by personal level, you mean we should stop having conversation about it?
No. You do need to have conversation,
but just stick to your stuff.
Exactly. Okay, check. There's this issue where if you want to gain something, pretend as if you don't know anything about it. So if you know more about Christianity, just pretend as if you have no idea what Christians.
Why should you pretend?
You want to learn more. You understand. You want to see the other side of philosophy. Do you understand? You need to get these views and So I think it's really dope in pretending somehow in gaining more of information. It's a good thing,
All right. So in conclusion, I have one last question, and it's like a question that borders on morality. So, what do you think should determine a right action or a wrong action? Who do you think should say, okay, apa, boss, mwasogoneza? who do you think is in a position to give that guidance?
Well,
or what is in a position to give that? It doesn't necessarily has to be a who, but it can be a what.
Okay, based on morality, it means society has to give you, certain principles on how you should live.
Yeah.
It has to give you sets, guidelines.
Yeah.
So to people, it means if you're living in a society, it means you agree on some certain area thing. You agree on some sort of common codes. And then you follow those codes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if, for example, if we say, okay, if somebody shoots somebody, they have to be taken to police to prison or something like that. You understand? Yeah. So meaning, society itself, what you believed in, what you agreed on, has to guide you on the result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think you're not supposed to be. Yeah. Okay, continue.
Basically, you had said at the start of your explanation that society, you seem to have sounded to say that society should determine what it is that we call wrong,
exactly,
and what it is that we call right.
Yeah.
But let me give you,
because it's where morality is based on, right?
But let me give you this scenario though. Like, say for example, we have a society that says every firstborn girl should be the legs of every firstborn girl should be cut off.
Okay.
They've been doing that for millennia.
All right.
So like, is that society in a position to decide what is right or what is wrong?
Yes, I think there is this issue where if you think cutting maybe people's leg it's an okay thing to you, you should continue cutting, right?
No, you're sounding funny right now.
No, I'm not sounding funny.
You just
no, I'm telling you, if you think it's actually cool, if you have no information about it, okay, let me give the cutting of thing. If you cut somebody and then you repress them with maybe your staffs or whatsoever, and then they become active in some other areas.
You don't replace them with anything. You're just cutting them off, cutting their legs off, because your tradition says that.
So if your tradition says it's cutting them off, it has to give you So if we cut off your leg, it means you act in this way. You react in this way. Your actions should be in this way. So meaning it's beneficial to that particular ethnic grouping, right? So, but if exactly now check. If those guys check, man.
Yeah.
Let me bring it on. Easy.
Okay.
So if they're not educated about being cut off the legs, they have no idea of how it feels, on the other side, on what society tells them to say. If they're not educated on that, they will continue living like that, right? So meaning it's such an okay thing to you if you have no idea about it.
So you're basically saying ignorance justifies violent acts.
Somehow, true.
But then ignorance doesn't take you anywhere. There's no way.
It doesn't take you anywhere. But if you have no idea about it.
We cannot settle anything if we're going to say the fact that you were ignorant about it, then it justifies your actions.
You can never be ignorant on something that you
Suppose I punched you in the face and then you go like, how could you do that to me? And then I'm like, no. And then I'm like, I didn't know that punching you in the face would cause harm. Like, come on.
Exactly. You have no idea about you punching me and then you don't know the outcome, right? So meaning
no. I just disagree on that point because I don't think
you know how people work.
I don't think determining what is right and wrong should be so relative to
it has
culture.
To be based on some sort of education platforms. Okay, not really educational platform. Yeah. Whatever information they have about.
Let me ask you a question that will help you see my point.
No, okay.
To be happy and to be well, is it something that is can a girl in Africa have a different form of happiness or a different feeling of being well than a girl in China?
Exactly. Sure. What China holds, what Africa holds.
Okay, no. Maybe I'm not asking the question correctly.
No.
Let me do this. Let me make you understand. Let me make you understand what I'm trying to say. Right? Slapping a girl in Africa and slapping a girl in China. Does that action generate a different kind of harm?
So, there is no way you would go and slapping somebody, right?
Why can't you not go on slapping somebody?
Why? Why would you want to slap somebody?
Okay, let's say if you follow your philosophical argument that
so if you
it's
have
based
no
on
idea,
the culture.
No, not based on a culture, actually. If you have no idea about slapping somebody, on how they react, and then you see their reaction.
How could you not have an idea on that slapping somebody would generate? an unpleasant feeling.
Society sometimes doesn't tell you these things, right? It does. It makes you grow. Growing up, there's an issue where a 40-year-old guy thinks like a 5-year-old guy. It's just what society teaches him.
Yeah.
What society brings him up. You understand? So if you have no idea, but
those are psychopaths. Because
no, they're not psychopaths. They really don't know.
Okay, the mere fact is there's a few number of people in society that don't seem to have respect for other people's well-being.
Actually,
does not then go to show that it's justifiable for them to act funny.
Yeah,
they'll be arrested
it's
regardless.
Not acting funny. Yeah.
Unless if you say the person had some mental issues, or he had some serious mental breakdown.
Like, people have to understand that people don't know anything. They do not know anything. So for them to know, they have to react. They have to do some sort of action, right? I have to punch you to know how you feel. You understand? You have to punch me to know how I'm going to react to you. So that simply teaches you, right? It tells you, okay, this goes like this, goes like this. Since from that particular point of view, you will learn.
Basically, what you're talking about is moral relativism. No. And a lot of people have issues with that.
People are
because there's no way. There are certain actions that apply on a general scale to everybody else. Like slapping somebody and cutting off their legs. No matter what society you go to, that action will generate pain.
Definitely it will.
Yeah, and
but
the
you
mere
learn
fact,
from that, right?
And the mere fact that it will generate pain goes to show that you're not supposed to do it because you're infringing on another person's well-being,
the best way
regardless of what
the best
your society says.
Of learning things is experimenting, right? So,
but I don't think it's prudent to learn from experience.
No, it is actually. It is actually for you to learn, for others to learn. Yeah. You have to die, right? For check. Even Christ Jesus died for us. You know that sin is real. You understand? So there is an issue of you sacrificing for your own good, and then for others to understand. Sociology tells us to say it's out to sacrifice, something like that.
Understand? Yeah. Somebody has to take a fall for it. Exactly. I understand that point, but it's not always providential to learn from experiments.
It's not. Yeah.
You can learn from experience. Not experiment. I mean, if you had to
how are you going to get experience if you haven't done any experience?
No, there's a way you can get experience based off of other people's experience. But if you're going to learn your life based on experiments, you won't last. You won't last to your 40s. Probably if you're learning everything based on experiment, you're not going to be here today. You're going to be a statistic.
Exactly.
But
people learn from that, right?
Yeah, but it's just not good to learn from experiment.
People have to learn from experience.
Okay, shout outs, closing remarks, because we're running behind time. We never even got to do the poetry. But
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but anyway, the conversation was more fulfilling.
Exactly.
Do you have a piece that you would like to read in closing?
I think I have the piece that you would like to play. I don't know.
So where can we find it?
You can get it on Audio Mac, Seiraph. Yeah.
Okay, we'll play it in the closing remarks. Okay, your last words, shout outs, everything, and other stuff.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to everybody who's been following me at Seiraph. People reaching out to me, people texting me, people encouraging me, people supporting me through my poetry and music, recording stuff. People like MZ, Ndashe, Jennifer, Sally, Beauty. A lot of guys. I know I have a lot of people to mention. My church guys, Big Bro, a lot of people,
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting me, actually.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks to you, actually. Thanks to you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing this randomly. You know what I mean? Okay. I think I'll be putting out a post every Sunday.
That would be cool.
And whoever wants to come on the on the show could just easily jump. I think it's more fun.
Exactly.
And more fulfilling.
View.
Yeah. So thanks for coming, and nice to meet you, Zachariah.
Yeah.
In closing, I'm gonna play one of his pieces, but for now we're gonna go for a short break, and soon we're gonna have some news at 20. New summary. So stay in there. And to people on Facebook watching the live stream, guys, sorry, next time we're gonna ensure that we can make a proper call line, but as it is, this is all we can do, and the comment section is looking good, actually. I'd rather not read some of the comments, but anyway, so for today this was all we had, and we're gonna go for a short break.